Today's episode of Off the Timeline is titled Texas Got Cam Newton and Still Missed the National Title. In 2010, the best player in college football never played for a national championship. Not because he wasn't dominant, not because his team fell apart, but because of one moment early in the season that no one realized would matter until it was too late. In this timeline, Cam Newton doesn't go to Auburn. In this alternate timeline, he goes to Texas. And what happens next breaks the sport. Now let's set the table to the decision and rewind. Texas is coming off a national title appearance, but the foundation is shaky. Colt McCoy is gone. The offense has no identity. And then everything changes. Cam Newton commits to Texas, and immediately the entire sport is on notice. You may be thinking to yourself, okay, Texas just becomes dominant, right? Not even close. Auburn loses its future, SEC loses its wild card, and Texas becomes the most volatile team in the country. And that sets the table to the misfire. The problem isn't talent, the problem is fit. Texas tries to run its offense instead of Cam's offense, and it shows. Hesitation, missed reads, no rhythm, and Texas does stumble out of the gate. And the one stumble and loss that happens feels bigger than it should. It comes against Oklahoma, a game Texas had control of and let slip. And you may be thinking to yourself, it's early, they'll recover. And that's what everybody thought. Now the questions start though. Is Cam the right fit? Did Texas make a mistake? Is this season already slipping away? And that sets the table for the turning point. And Texas makes the adjustment. They stop forcing structure and they unleash chaos. And from that moment on, Texas doesn't lose another game. And that sets the table to the ascent. With Cam Newton unleashed, you see a lot more designated runs, broken tackles, and big play action plays. Cam Newton becomes unstoppable. And suddenly, the early stumbles don't define them anymore. Texas rolls week after week. Blowouts, statement wins coming left and right. By November, Texas doesn't just look good, they look like the best team in the country. And you may be thinking to yourself, okay, so they're in the title game now, but that's where this timeline turns. And that sets the table for the problem. Texas finishes the regular season 11-1, red hot, with the best player in college football, and somehow it's not enough. Meanwhile, in the SEC, Auburn doesn't disappear, they adapt, adjusting to defense first, physical football, and spoiler mentality. They do knock off a contender and reshape the SEC race, and they do change who gets the spotlight. In the final BCS rankings, the decision comes down to this. Texas at 11-1, hottest team in the country, best player in the sport, or the SEC champion Alabama that's battle tested with a narrative advantage. And you may be thinking to yourself, there's no way Texas gets left out. Well, they do. Texas is left out of the national championship game. And this is where everything fractures. Because now we have the best player not competing for a title, a team peaking at the right time ignored, the system that values when you lose more than who you become. And that's the thing. Texas didn't lose multiple times. They didn't collapse. They lost one time before they figured it out. And the fan reactions come across pretty instant. For the Big 12, they feel like they feel that this was highly unfair. The SEC fans are basically saying win your games. Texas fans are saying we're the best team. In this timeline, Cam Newton is still the most dominant player in college football. Texas still becomes elite, but the championship ending never comes because the one game that mattered most happened way before anyone realized it would. So let me ask you, did the system fail Texas or did they miss their chance? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more alternate college football timelines like this, hit subscribe because we're just getting started. And I'll see you in the next timeline.